Hi everyone, my name is Beth with Flying by the Seed of My Plants, and I am starting my pepper seeds. And I did start 4 trays full of pepper seeds yesterday and another tray today. And I wanted to show you, how I prepare the soil for planting my seedlings and explain more on how I start my pepper seeds and the rate of germination, different things like that. So I'm in Northeast Ohio, and you want to find your frost date, your last frost date. So I went to Farmer's Almanac on the internet, and you just search in there, when is my last frost date? And you can plug in your zip code, and it will tell you the approximate last frost date for your area. And so ours is April 27th. So when you're starting your seedlings, it's very important to find out when your last frost date is, so you get your seeds started in time for your garden. And for pepper seeds, it's usually between 10 and 12 weeks prior to your last frost that you want to get those started. Right now we're at week 11. In Northeast Ohio right now, we are having such a mild winter. Yesterday it was in the upper 40s. Today it's in the 50s. I was just outside a little bit ago, no coat. And I went ahead yesterday and put all my onion starts into the greenhouse. And then last night it went down to 29 degrees, so I did have to turn my heater on. And the onions are frost hardy. But those are young seedlings, so I didn't want to risk any damage, so I did put the heater on last night, and, because it got down to 29. So once they get a little bit bigger, I won't have to turn the heat on for them, but I will be putting other things out there. I'm going to move some lettuce out there shortly. I planted some lettuce seedlings, and so I'll be moving that to the greenhouse shortly. But anyhow, getting back to the peppers. I went ahead, and for years I was always told, to use the seed starting soil mix. And it's great. It's light, it's fluffy, and there's nothing wrong with that soil at all. And for the amount of seeds that I start, I have a plant sale in May, and I'll start this year I'm probably looking at least 800 plants that I'll be starting. And so the Jiffy seed starting mix is just a very small amount of soil for a small bag for $6.99. So I went up to Maria Gardens, a local garden center, and I asked, what do you guys start your seeds in? And they start in their regular potting soil. And so for this size bag, it's 1 cubic foot is $9.99. And that's probably 4 times the amount of the Jiffy starting seed mix. So there is nothing wrong with starting in potting soil. The only thing that you might find are some twigs, and any of the larger ones, as I find them, I just remove them. You can sift them out of there, if you have a screen, and put the soil on there and sift the soil through it, and then all the sticks are left on the screen, and then throw it in your compost or, whatever. So to me, saving a lot of money, and there's nothing wrong with it using a potting soil rather than the seed starting mix. Okay, so I went ahead and I added the potting mix into a container like this, and then I dampen the soil. And I'm going to move this camera so you can see what I'm talking about to get the right texture. So let me go ahead and change the camera around. Okay, so here is a container, and I already pre-moistened the soil. And so it was dry when I put it in here, and then I went ahead and I just add some water to it. And then you just mix it up really good. Get this out of here. And you want to get it to a consistency where the soil is moist, and you can actually form it into a ball. You don't want water dripping from it. You don't want to get it so wet that it's drenched. but it can form a ball, and then you go like this, and it falls apart. That's the consistency you're looking for. And then from there, I take a seed cell, or a seed cell, and fill it up with dirt, and then I will take my thumbs, push down the soil, because you want to get a lot of the air out of there. Otherwise, when you water it, it's going to sink down, and you're not going to have as much soil in there as you thought. And then do it again. And I don't push so hard that it's, you know, real hard, where it's compact. So that's about the level that I want. Maybe just a loose on top. And that's how you want it. So put that in that tray. And do it again. Push it down. And I'm in my kitchen, so I'm just doing it like this just to keep the mess down, just to show you. I mean, before I was doing the whole trays. But anyhow, so this will just show you kind of what I'm talking about. And do one more. Push down with my thumbs. You can use your fingers, whatever, just get the air out of the soil. And there you go. Put that in there, and I'm going to move this off to the side. And okay, so I have these seed cells, and I just use, I got a little Sharpie marker here, and these I already put seeds in over here. So on the ones that I just filled with the soil, I am going to put, for the pepper seeds, you want to put like a 1/4 inch divot, little hole, and I'm putting it right in the middle. And again, that's only because I'm putting one seed in each hole. So I'm trying to think what else I need more of. I did the Craig's Grande, King of the North. So actually, I am going to put I'm going to do some more shishito peppers. I grew the shishito last year for the first time, and I absolutely love them. I char them in a cast iron skillet, and they're delicious. And then I made a dipping sauce with mayonnaise and paprika, which I went ahead and I started paprika seeds as well. Because then you could dehydrate the paprika pepper, and that was not, this was Ajay Gold, no, getting confused here, sorry. Okay, so there is another shishito right there, and I already have like 12 or 18 started of the shishito. So I'm going to go ahead and get a marker, because all your peppers, when they come up, they all look the same. Unless it's like a special pepper, it might start out with purple leaves, but most of them will be the green. So putting the shishito. Oops. And then I'm also putting the date 2/13. And put that right there. And then in the other 6 cell, I will put in this one is a canary bell pepper. And I already did, I don't know, 6 or 12 of these already. So I'm just going to do 6 more. And drop 1 seed right in the middle. Do a marker. And I always like to do it as I'm going along, or, you know, make a few prior to doing these if I'm doing a lot. So that was the canary bell pepper. Put the date in there. And then I have 6 more. Let's see what I want to do here. I don't know, I already did more of that Anaheim. I'm going to do 6 more of Count Dracula. These do have a purple leaf. These do. They're beautiful. I think I already started like 12 of these. And these I saved from last year. And I'm putting 1 in each one. Count Dracula is a hot pepper. And I did start these seeds, so I did not check the germination rate to see how these were. So for right now, just put the 1 seed in here and keep an eye on it. And after a couple weeks, if I notice it's not germinating, if some haven't germinated, I'll go ahead and drop another seed in there. So then I just, you know, take the pen, whatever, and lightly cover up the seed. Keeping the soil loose. Oh, and I gotta get my marker for that. And this soil is pretty moist. Go ahead and do another marker. Let's Count Dracula. And I love that, to put it in my cowboy candy for color. Today's date. And there you go. And then once I get my seeds in, I will take a spray bottle full of water and spray it pretty good. You want to get the seedlings to be moist. And all the soil is already pre-moistened. So I'm not worried about adding more water. But you want to spray it because you don't want to just, you know, water with regular watering can, because you can move the seeds around, and you don't want to do that. And I will check these every day. Of course, you know, when we start our seeds, we'll probably be checking them every hour. Even though we know they're not going to be germinated yet. But anyhow, I will check them every day to make sure it stays moist on top. And if I notice that it's really dry, you know, picking it up, I will add water to the bottom of the tray. And I'm not adding any fertilizer right now, but I will add probably 1/4 inch to this tray. I remove this and I bottom water. And then I'll add about a 1/4 inch, put that back in, wait about an hour, maybe 2 hours. And this is if your soil is getting dry. And then, you know, after about an hour or two, if there's still water left in there, I will drain it out because it collected all the water that it needs and you don't want to waterlog it. There's that. And now once I get my seedlings, you know, I'll continue to monitor to make sure that the soil stays moist, which you don't want to waterlog it. You want to wait and let it dry out a little bit once they germinate, and let it dry out a little bit before you add water again. And then I will bottom water, and a lot of times you can tell by the weight or the color. If it's, you know, once they germinate and you have your seedlings coming up, and the soil will turn like a light brown, and you might want to stick your finger in a little down, and it feels dry, then go ahead and add some more water. And water from the bottom, let it wick up, and then, you know, wait about an hour or two, and then any excess checking, you know, if there's still water in there after about an hour or 2 hours, just go ahead, and if the soil is a dark color, you know it has all the water in there, and you can dump out any excess water because you don't want to get it waterlogged. And then I go ahead and put this under my fluorescent grow light. And the temperature will probably reach the soil temperature about 80 degrees. And I'm looking hopefully I'll be seeing some germination in about 5 days. And I did only one seed, and I use M.I. Gardner seeds and Baker Creek seeds, and the germination rate is, for me, it's always been close to 100%. So like I said, if I see any empty cells after 5 days to a week, if it's a hot pepper, maybe wait 10 days. And then if I don't see germination, I will just pop another seed in there. And so that's how I get my pepper seeds going. And I will not be adding any fertilizer yet. They get all their nourishment from the seed. So once the pepper seeds get their second set of leaves, they're also known as the true leaves, that's when I'll start adding the fertilizer. And in the beginning, when they're really young, I will use the Neptune fish fertilizer. And let's say probably to a gallon of water, I don't know, I might use a 1/4 cup, and then fill it, you know, the rest with water, mix it up really good, and then water, you know, add it to the bottom of my tray and let it wick up. And that's just a very mild fertilizer. Do not use Miracle Grow. I'm going to tell you right now, it's got salt in it, and I used it a couple years ago on my seedlings, and I just over fertilized it, and it killed half of my pepper plants. So right now, when they're seedlings, when they're little, I just use a all natural fish fertilizer, which is very good for your plants. And then after that, when I pot these into a larger container, at that point, I will add, I don't know if you're familiar with M.I. Gardner, but he has the Trifecta Plus. So I will add, per the instructions, Trifecta Plus to my new container when I pot it. And I do that with my peppers, my tomatoes, and then when I put it in the garden, you know, when I dig the hole for my tomatoes or peppers, I add Trifecta again. So anyhow, and the Trifecta is just wonderful. But there's other fertilizers out there too. But the Miracle Grow has salt in it. So it is not good for your seedlings. Maybe more mature plants. But to be quite honest, I've only used it a few times. And now it's only on my most mature plants that I will use it. So, all right. So that's it. That's how I start my pepper plants. And I'll do the same for my tomatoes And so hopefully that was helpful. And if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and leave them in the comments. And that's it. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And thank you for joining me. And I will see you all on the next one. All right. Have a great day. Bye.